Today we're going to do a little review on color theory. We're going to talk about warm and cool colors. We're going to talk about analogous colors, primary and secondary, complementary, and monochromatic colors. In your palette you have a red, yellow, blue, a black, and a white. We're going to start with our primary colors. So we're going to start with the red, and we're going to mix red in one circle, yellow in another, and blue in the last. Scrub your brush on the bottom of the water bucket, crisscross on the sponge to dry your brush off, and go to the next color. Next, we're going to talk about secondary colors. We're going to do orange, green, and purple. The first one we're going to mix is yellow and red. That's going to make our orange. Next, we're going to mix yellow and blue to make green. You'll notice we start with the lighter color first and then add a tiny bit of the darker color on top. If you start with the darker color first, it'll be too dark for us to see the correct color. Next, we're going to talk about secondary colors. We're going to do orange, green, and purple. The first one we're going to mix is yellow and red. That's going to make our orange. Last, we're going to mix blue and red to make purple. Start with your blue first, then add your red on top. The next section we're going to talk about is our warm and cool colors. We're going to do a lot of color mixing in this section. We're going to start with our warm colors, and then we'll go to our cool. So right here in this warm color, I want to mix red. Next, I'm going to add yellow. I'm not going to rinse my brush. I'm just going to keep adding the yellow because I'm going to put red on top of that third square to make orange. Last square, I'm going to add white first, and then I'm going to add a tiny bit of red to it to make pink. Next, we're going to talk about our cool colors. I'm going to start with blue in this first square. In the next square, we're going to mix green. So I need to start with yellow, and I'm going to add a little bit of blue to that square to make green. In the third square, I'm going to add blue, and then I'm going to add a little bit of yellow on top. I want to make this a blue-green, so it needs to have more blue than yellow. In my last square, I'm going to mix purple. So you'll see me put blue and then red on top. Next, we're going to talk about analogous colors. Analogous colors are neighbor colors, colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So I'm going to use red and blue today, and then I'm going to mix a purple in the middle. So I'm going to start with red, and then I'm going to add my blue, and then I'll mix purple in the middle. Next, we're going to talk about complementary colors. Complementary colors are located across the color wheel from each other. So the first set of circles, I'm going to use red and green. In the second set of circles, I'm going to use blue and orange. And in the last set, we're going to do yellow and purple. You're going to be doing some color mixing in this section, so make sure you rinse between each color. In our last section, we're going to be talking about monochromatic colors. These are colors that are all in the same family. They're just used with white or black to make some tones, tints, and shades. The last thing I want you to do is paint the title of our worksheet. Use your color mixing skills and rinse between each color.